Yeah,
Okay,
all set.
all set. Yes. So today's topic is think like an architect. I know many people have some question wondering in their mind that what kind of topic is it. So don't worry. In this topic, I will not going to bore you, especially about the coding, because most of the people are doing coding every day. So today is just to relax and get some new knowledge. So first of all, let me introduce myself. I'm very much happy to introduce myself. I really like it. I'm Ruchit Patel. I'm a team lead at VitroCloud. I'm a chef at home. I'm a good chef also. I love astrophile. I love stars, and I'm an amateur astronomer. I love traveling. In 2023, I almost traveled 55,000 kilometers, and that is like one of my largest, we can say, the journey throughout the 2023. I'm the core team member of the Laracon India. If you are aware about the Laravel and Laracon events, so you know that I'm a speaker in Laracon India 2024, and I love to doing open source contribution. I'm very much fascinated about to contribute in the other people's package to help them in their thinking, in their ideas, and all those things. So yes, here I am. So let's start. So first question is always there in everyone's mind. Is why this talk? If you don't have any question about this, then you will not able to understand what exactly we are going to learn in next 15 to 20 minutes. So why this talk? This talk is related to think like an architect. To think like an architect, you don't have to be a solution architect, even regardless of your role. It is not required. You have to be a certified for solution architect. You have to do some courses on that. You can develop those skills by yourself by just focusing on the gray area which you are not doing right now as a developer. So in today's session, I will give you all those key details so you will can easily be a architect by following those things, regardless your current role, no matter you are a developer or a junior developer or a senior developer or whatever it is. So just imagination to framework. Architectural thinking transform create vision into solid and functional structure. Just imagine if someone comes to you and asks you to create the application, but if you don't think like an architect and you will not convert their vision into the solid and functional structure, then that person can sell and make their customer happy. So for that, it is must require your thinking and thought process if you are leading that project. The next one is coding. It's really important how to craft the code. This actually play a key role when you are developing an enterprise application. Just imagine like if you have architecture thinking, then your code is like a skyscraper. Like if you ever visited any skyscraper in your life, like Burj Khalifa or any tallest building, then you can just imagine how that like tallest building are stable, how they maintained, right? Their architecture, you can see how the beautiful architecture it is, right? So you can correlate these things in our software field. So there is a first law of the software architecture is trade-off. The trade-off is like you have to balance, you have to think, you have to balance in a way that every should work in a proper way. That is the first law of the solution architect. Before going ahead, let me show you the difference between architect and the developer thinking. So next example is like a very funny example, then you can but correlate with that. I'm giving you one puzzles like balance these 6 nails without letting them touch the wood. So on the right side, you can see developer, how 6 nails attach quickly and put it on the wood, right? Now let's see how the architecture think this. Even when you slant the table, all 6 nails will be stand without any supporting or without any touch down the wood. But if you slant the table
Excuse
of the
me.
developer, hello,
Yeah, Ruchit, your slide is not visible.
not visible. I
Yeah,
will.
it is not. To me, it is not.
No, we have a visible.
We
Right.
can see that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
visible.
it's
It's visible.
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 You can just select the view. Based on that, you can able to view the slide.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, great. So you can just imagine by seeing this picture the difference between the thinking process of a developer and the architect, right? Next, before going to the key components, key elements of the architecture thinking, I will going to share the challenges which we are facing in our day-to-day programming language when we are developing any enterprise application or the small application. These challenges are very common, and I know everyone are facing that. So let me go through step by step. The first one is that the scalability issue. The server load, like too much user traffic overwhelm, wasted resource, using more server space, memory utilization. I know many people are facing that when we are dealing with the server, right? If you are not properly like creating your infrastructure in a scalable way, then definitely you will face such kind of issues. You can correlate the image of the people like, please save me today in like in front of the client, right? The next thing is like code flexibility. If you don't maintain your code, not following the proper standard, then it's a game over for everyone. I know many people are facing, like especially who are fascinated about the standard, and when they saw the code who are not properly maintained, then they say that this application is like completely game over. We have to build from the scratch. The next thing is very interesting, database overload. Database is like a backbone for the every application. So if you are not properly managing your infrastructure of the database, you can see there is a one car and all the peoples are on that. Yeah, we will face the issue. The next one is expensive quick fixes. So when you face any like server load, and what exactly the next step you will do if you don't have any proper knowledge, just increase the CPU utilization of your server or memory, right? And that will give you a big bill, especially on the AWS. So these kind of issues we are facing. The next one is also the interesting security gaps. Like when we are doing a rapid development, it's fast development, and at that time we mainly miss the security, and at that time it will create a data breaks and all those things. The chances are very high. The another one is tech compatibility issue. If we don't have any knowledge about the other things which is must require, especially in the programming field and when you are developing an application, scalable application, if you don't aware about the challenges, the new technologies, then this kind of things will definitely happen. Have you ever touched this animal in your life? No, but you will feel the same when you are in this situation. Hug me at your own risk, because I don't know about the other technology. If you want to create an application, then I can create on the basis of my knowledge only. What's next? Now it's really important things going to start. So I would like to request everyone to pay attention. It's really wonderful. Slowly and gradually, let's uncover what we miss as a solution architect, like thinking like an architecture thinking, right? There are the three core elements. It's very important, these three core elements. The first one is architecture characteristics. So the architecture characteristics meaning is like when a stakeholder comes to you and he or she said that I want to build this application, then your role is how his expectation you can meet by fulfilling using your knowledge, by adding different fundamentals like you can say the fault tolerance, scalability, maintainability. So these kind of things you have to fulfill all those things to give them a success. And if you don't give them a success, then that client will not going to come to you the next time, right? So this is the basic characteristics is required in your thought process, in your day-to-day practices. I know there are many developers who are facing such issues when we are dealing with such enterprise applications, because they don't know about how to scalable the application. What are the key things which we have to measure during the scalable? Performance issue, maintainability issue, code editability issue. When we want to add the new technology, it will create a mess for that. No, like if you don't have any knowledge, then how can we integrate the Python in the PHP, some Node.js or different services? So this kind of issue may create. So you have to characterize all those things. The next key elements, really important, is like a pillar of the three core elements. It's a technical breadth. So I'm just going to ask one question to everyone. Do you know about the triangle of knowledge? Especially in the technology field, I'm not talking about the general. So this is the triangle of knowledge. In triangle of knowledge, there are three components. Stuff you know, it means what you are doing in day-to-day programming that you know already, that you are doing. Second thing is stuff you know, don't know. It means you know one technology, but you never tried, but you at least know. And the third one is stuff you don't know, you don't know. It means you are not actually heard about any technology or you never tried. So these three components is a part of triangle of knowledge. But what exactly we are facing? Let's go to the next slide. There is a difference is like technical depth versus technical breadth. It's really important. You can measure in yourself after this session. Whenever you get a time, you can measure yourself. So you will get an idea about where exactly you are. You can see now. Stuff you know right now, our developer, if we are developer, right? So our stuff you know is too high. The percentage is too high in throughout the triangle. Stuff you know, don't know is less. And the big part is stuff you don't know, right? So I know most of the people are facing these issues. We have the technical knowledge, what we are doing right now, but we never try the new things. There are various of technologies available right now in the market. There are various of solutions. If you are facing any problem, if you go with the only one solution which you know, then you don't know about the hundreds of solutions available in the market. Just example I am taking, giving you the aws have a 200 plus services, right? And if you only know about the two or three services and when you are facing any issue, then what you can do? You don't have any option apart from the these two services. But if you keep increasing your knowledge, you can be a part of any conference, AWS conference, in AWS event. So at least you have some services in the back of your mind. And when you face some issue in your application development, so you can provide the solution by using that services. So that is what we have to do as a developer to create the architecture thinking. We have to increase our stuff you know, don't know part. And we have to give less important. I'm not saying you have to stop, but give less important in stuff you know what you are doing right now in day-to-day phases. But you have to increase your the middle part. This is really important. These play a key role in your overall journey as a software engineer, as a solution architect, or an enterprise architecture. This is more related to your thinking process, your thought process. If you don't like I can say that you have a narrow mindset in terms of the technology selection, then your career will not going to be grow. You have to broader view. You have to create the broader view. So this play a vital role. I hope you get an idea about it. So what you can do, how you can increase this, there is a one technique are available. Every day in the morning, 20 minutes, just see a video or read the articles on the internet about the different technologies solutions. Try to find a real world problem, and on the basis of that, try to find the solution that will help you. There are DSA algorithms available. When you learn those things, you will achieve many complex solutions. So these things we have to increase. We cannot be like in the comfort zone every day. I know the PHP, I can only working in the PHP throughout my career. No, I'm not going to stand in the industry anymore in next 2 years, 5 years. I have to I have to wave my wings in the different technologies. So that thing is we are missing right now. We never grow in this area. So we have to grow. Let's go to the next. I will give you the comparison so you can idea, you can measure yourself. There's a two triangle. The first one is like a developer triangle where we are focusing. We are focusing on the only those things which we are doing in a day-to-day basis, programming, database creation. That's it. No other things. But when you start thinking like an architecture, your triangle is like this. You are a solution specialist. You are architecture. You can be an enterprise architecture in the future if you are focusing on this part. So you can like just take a screenshot and save it and measure yourself. That will help you to evaluate yourself, your evaluate your skills and all those things. Let's move ahead. We have to focus on this part. Next, there is a one secret sauce. That's it. This is a secret sauce. Focus here. Third element is identify, analyze, and various trade-offs. This is really important to make a decision. Just example, if you are building an enterprise application, you can't only focus on the performance. You have to also focus on the maintainability. You have to also focus on about the database overload. You also need to focus on the fault tolerance. You cannot rely on the one thing. If you are expert in the performance, then it's not going to be work. The application is not only successful on the basis of performance. There are the various things, but for that you have to be expert in that. You must know about the fundamentals of the different terminology. So that is a trade-off. Trade-off is like you have to balance everything. If you focus on only one thing, it will going to be breakdown. So this is the third key element of the architecture thinking. This is one article which was posted in 2022. Someone asked a really great question that I'm just talking about this Laravel. Does Laravel scale? So this guy wrote a really good post. So you can see whenever you get a time. He described in a way that you can correlate yourself, your thinking. It is not only depend upon the framework or the programming language. It is completely depend upon your thinking how you can integrate the different service to solve the problem. If you think that you will be have the millions of users, then you can think how you can use the some AWS service or Microsoft service, or you can create your application in microservices rather than monolithic. You can use the NoSQL database or MongoDB or any other databases like vector database. You can select, but for that you have to create those kind of thinking, and that thinking we call the architecture thinking. Right now we are only just a developer thinking. So I hope you will get it these things. There is a secret source behind this, because like the Jack Ellis is mainly focused on this part, and that's why he created the solution for that. Someone asked that, does your application scale? So you have the answer of that. You must have the answer for this. Client will definitely ask you, is my application scalable? Is my application sustained for millions of users? If you say without knowing that, yes, 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 and when it like break down, then what answer you should give? If you know about these things, then definitely you will solve out. Yes. Like, let me talking about the open source contribution. You know that if you are working in the PHP itself open source contribution, right? So why I'm showing this, I really do to do open source contributions. I have created like me and my team have created 5 different packages. You can see we have a really good downloads, really good stars. This is actually the real world problem which we solve, and we create the solution for that. And this really help to the other people in their application. So before this open source contribution, over my personally thinking, if you ask me 5 years back, I am just think like a developer. I never talk about the real world problem and how to solve this. Actually, like I am facing this issue. Definitely this issue will face by the hundreds of developers. Why I'm not creating the solution for myself? Let me open some gray areas. Let's connect all the dots as an architecture. By using this, we have created such packages, and definitely you will going to also do. The open source contribution is really key important. You will learn the new things by just exploring the other repositories are available on the GitHub. Just explore it. You will learn. You will find the solutions of your problems definitely. And in October, the GitHub every year organize the October Fest. So I request everyone to be part of that. Just part of that. You will learn. Your life will definitely change when you are focused on such things. Now, thank you very much, but just wait a second. As in the first slide, I mentioned about I'm from like the Laravel background as architecture background. I'm also managing the AWS server, and I'm also providing as a consultancy of the solution architect. I'm also the part of the biggest community of the India, especially in the PHP as a Laravel. So let me give you the idea about community play a vital role in any technology. If your community is powerful, that programming language will go to the next level. You can see the Python, Java, in PHP. PHP is completely open source. Why it is still running? Because of the community, because of the contribution, right? So let me share you some glimpse about the community, which I am the part of that. Laracon India, I'm part of the Laracon India. I'm just giving you the photos of the recent Laracon. So we have 1200 plus attendees. These are the wonderful speakers from different countries like from US, Europe, Australia. These are the core developers of the Laravel framework. Many are the core contributors of the PHP framework, Symfony framework, and different languages. Like few are the like contributing in the Python. This whole the volunteer groups of the India. These are the speakers. And we have really one tag mark like whatever happens in Laravel, stay in the Laravel. Thank you so much. You can follow me on Twitter. by like searching Ruchit 288 on LinkedIn about Ruchit Patel. So if you have any question, please feel free to ask right now.